Isabella woke up in a cold sweat from a terrible nightmare. In her dream, she felt something following her in her house. In every room, there were bloody marks and screams on the walls, ceilings, and doors. Isabella tried to escape, but every time she encountered a dead end. Finally, she found herself in the basement. In the basement, something was moving in the dark. Isabella was frozen with fear. Suddenly, she saw a creature jumping on her and screamed. Isabella jumped out of her bed and turned on the light. She looked around and saw that everything was normal. She was alone in the house. Her husband, Tom, had gone to work. Isabella thought that her dream was just a nightmare and tried to calm down. She went to the kitchen to drink a glass of water. In the kitchen, she saw a note on the counter. She read the note. Dear Isabella, I love you very much, but I can't take it anymore. The things that are happening in this house are driving me crazy. Every night I hear horrible noises. Every morning I find bloody traces. I know you don't believe me, but this house is cursed. If we stay here, we will die. I am leaving. You should come too. Please call me. Isabella froze as she read the note. What did it mean? Where had Tom gone? What kind of cursed things were happening in the house? Isabella took the note in her hand and looked for her phone to call Tom. She couldn't find her phone. Instead of her phone, she saw a bloody knife. Isabella screamed and backed away when she saw the knife. On the knife it said, I will find you.
Isabella thought that this was also a dream and tried to wake herself up, but she realized that she was awake. This was real.
Isabella decided to run away from the house. She ran to the door but saw that it was locked. She looked for her key but couldn't find it. She thought about jumping out of the window, but saw that it was also covered with iron bars. Isabella started to cry helplessly. She had to find a way out of the house. Suddenly, she started to hear strange noises in the house, ticking sounds from the walls, moaning sounds from the ceilings, banging sounds from the doors. Isabella realized that she was not alone in the house. Isabella went to the bathroom to defend herself and took some cleaning supplies that she found there. She locked the bathroom door and waited. After a while, she heard noises from behind the door. Isabella, Isabella, I found you. The voice sounded familiar, but it had changed. It was very scary. Tom, Tom, if this is you, please stop. Don't scare me. Isabella answered, trembling. I'm not Tom. I'm your nightmare. The voice laughed and broke the lock of the door and entered. Isabella couldn't believe what she saw in front of her. His face was covered in blood. His eyes were red. His teeth were sharp. He was wearing Tom's clothes, but he was not Tom. Isabella threw cleaning supplies at him, but couldn't stop him. The creature jumped on Isabella and strangled her. Isabella screamed one last time and fainted. When Isabella came to, she saw that she was in a deserted apartment. There were bloody marks and corpses around her. Isabella didn't understand where she was. Then she saw Tom lying next to her. Tom had a deep wound on his neck. Isabella remembered that she had killed Tom. Isabella screamed in horror and started crying. Then she heard a voice behind her. Isabella, Isabella, I found you. The voice sounded familiar, but it had changed. It was very scary. Tom, Tom, if this is you, please stop. Don't scare me. Isabella answered, trembling, I'm not Tom. I'm your nightmare. The voice laughed and came next to Isabella. Isabella recognized the creature that looked at her face. It was herself,